It seemed criminal to me to knock these buildings down. They got fantastic quality, and that's what drove me to buy it, before I thought what on earth I was going to do with it. So, nearly 5 years after opening the theatre, we opened this cafe bar. That really brought the street to life. I wanted this to be part of a buzzing place where everybody feels welcome.
Hoy fue al mercado de la risa, una sonrisa yo te compré, mi amor. Hoy fue al mercado del sonido, compré acordes para escuchar y cantar, y luego yo te busqué, te busqué, te busqué. Luego yo te encontré, yo te encontré, yo te encontré. Ando comprando momentos de felicidad.
Let's go and have a look at the theatre. So this is just a rough industrial found space. Painted black, shove up some lights, and it becomes a theatre. What I love about it is the variety. Everything from the traditional Shakespeare to cutting-edge new writing.
Shakespearean language is the basis of modern English. And if actors speak Shakespeare in a relaxed way, at kind of normal volume, or not much more than normal volume, it becomes so much more comprehensible and so much more like the English we speak than the tradition of Shakespeare oratory has. We're basically speaking Shakespeare's language, but speaking it in a way where people soon forget that this was written in 1600 and just hear it afresh.
Lass! Come on, Yorick. I knew him! Horatio!
So to come here is fantastic because the audience are very close to you, but there's also the low ceiling, so it feels not oppressive but very close, and it means that you can really talk to the audience and you can see all their faces.
I've always had a great feeling for bare, empty spaces, and I think particularly for things like Shakespeare, it's much more interesting when it's very straightforward, very simplified, and without elaborate scenery. It means that all the audience's concentration is simply on the interaction between the people involved. There's something about it which brings people here.
I love working in a found space and just using the building as we find it. I've become a complete convert to theatre in the round. We live life in the round, you know. We don't live life facing front and talking to people there facing the audience, you know. We just live in the round. So it's much more natural, and I find it much more exciting.
Well, in the early days, it literally was just a space. I mean, you'd walk into that auditorium and the air was cold and the walls were still damp. And the beauty of that is your evening is just lit up by this magical show that you see. It's all about the show with that space. With every space, you need to develop and you need to move forward. And the first 3 years, we flew from nothing to known throughout the West Country as a really enterprising theatre. And that's continued to grow. And for the future, we're going to continue to expand, be it a workshop for children in the morning, a rhyme time event, a music event, to stand-up comedy in the evening. Something will always happen at this venue 24/7.
The history of the building and the people who worked here, for me, are absolutely vital to the soul of this place. You're tobacco girls. Great. You're Wills girls. We are the Wills girls.
We are the Wilson's girls. We are the Wilson's girls. We know our manners. We pay our tanners.
We are respected wherever we may go. And when you're walking down Lombard Street, doors and windows open wide, you can hear old men shout, "Look at the bloody working sound."
Brilliant! You must come and do this more often.
It was a good firm to work for. We had very good conditions. I used to make cigars, hand-rolled cigars, which was all right, but it used to stain your fingers. It was rather smelly. We used to have a yearly bonus, which is very, and all the shops did very, very well. They used to be, I mean, it's also different. North Street Exchange, there were lots of shops, you know, dress shops and things like this, and jewellery businesses, and of course all the girls used to go. They'd buy their jewellery, they'd buy their shoes, they'd buy their dresses.
It had a real community feel. There was maybe 3 generations at one time living it and working in Wills's Tobacco. You know, that was the main industry of the area, really, the biggest employer around. We've been here 36 years. I mean, we've seen it in the buoyant years when Wills's were in full swing. We've seen it dip into the 90s, and now it's gradually come back now. And like I say, it is a more of a community feel now, where we lost that at one point.
It brings a lot of young people into the area. Well, I mean, a lot of people want to, because that's there, they want to live here, don't they? Southwell is the place to live, and it's good for us. We get lots of young people in the shop. On a Saturday, we're packed with young people. Probably the tobacco factory, and yeah, it's been good. Yeah. The tobacco factory has helped a lot. Yeah. It's sort of really rejuvenated North Street. Yeah.
Without them, we wouldn't have been doing what we are now. I mean, that was just a dead site for many, many years, and you had a 14-acre site down there, lying idle for a good 10-year period. I think it was the best move that they could have made around here, and it has brought a lot of people around to the area.
Look at this sensuous detailing. I wanted to take advantage of the space, the light, the height, and it seemed perfect for the creative industries, especially the independents rather than the multiples. And we've got education with the UWE animation department. We've got architects, graphic designers, video makers. They all feel at home here.
We're a company that's very design focused, very creative, and I think Tobacco Factory fitted in with that whole ethos. So it's a fantastic place for us to locate amongst like-minded businesses that are from the creative industries background. There's also an atmosphere here, I think, which is very informal and also has a sense of fun, and it's a really good place to work.
The atmosphere around the place is quite inspiring, and since we moved in, almost from day one, the level of business that we've been doing, whether it's coincidental or not, I don't know, but the level of business we've done since we've been here has increased dramatically.
We work all over the country as well as locally, and it's wonderful to have a base in a theatre, because when we go out into the community we can say we are from this exciting theatre in Bristol. But also when we invite the young people that we're working with, or indeed the audiences that we're working with, into this space, quite often they've never been into a theatre before, so it's a really inspiring, stimulating space to be in. It's not intimidating, and it's very funky for young people and older people alike. And so for us, it's the perfect venue.
I'm the caretaker. This is where I live, over the shop. I wanted to build on the natural quality of the place, keep it really simple, but make it a place so it was good for live or work. Just down the road in the old Ashengate Brewery, we're brewing our own local beer.
We brew 4 types of cask ale here. We've got a bitter, an amber seaman, pale ale, which is our Sunrise. We have a dark, strong ale, which is called Exhibition, and also we have a red ale. Back in the old days, it was commonplace. There'd be breweries all over the place in all the towns throughout England, but I guess lots of those got bought out by big conglomerates, and it's great to see small breweries like this coming back and giving a sort of regional identity back to the beers that are brewed in towns like Bristol. And cask of ale ready to go. Perfect.
So here we got the market. Every Sunday, and every so often we close the streets, cause a bit of chaos. Local food, local craft, and also local events. I think it's really important that we have things like graffiti, even fire walking in aid of local charity. And some very singed feet in aid of local charity. So the Tobacco Factory is about community, it's about South Bristol's regeneration, it's about food, theatre, conversation, activity, and the challenge is always thinking up the next thing.